Hi, fourth grade. Today's writing lesson is also a vocabulary building lesson. We will be working with words from our Reach for Reading Unit 6. And just a reminder, our big question for the unit is, why do we seek treasure? The theme from our unit is a social studies content theme of exploration and discovery. So as we consider these vocabulary words, we want to think about them within that context. Let's take a look at our learning target for today. I can analyze the meaning of key vocabulary words and then write complete sentences using each word correctly. As part of this lesson, we've included a couple different resources for you to use. The first is your new words list, Nuevas Palabras. And I want you to notice that we are just focusing on the words for weeks 1 and 2, semanas una y dos. So we'll be working with words just from the first half of this page. First, let's preview the words, and then we'll take a look at the other resources that we have that will help us complete this activity. It's a good idea to say the words out loud just to practice your fluency. Adventure, aventura. Chart, cuadro. Coastal, costero. Compass, brújula. Discovery, descubrimiento. Exploration, exploración. Interpret, interpretar. Legend, leyenda. Navigation, navegación. Port, puerto. Treasure, tesoro. Let's take a look at the next page. Included in this activity, we have a chart where you can write your vocabulary words in both English and Spanish. And then once you have a good understanding of what the word means, you can use the word in a complete sentence. So let's take a look at our first word, adventure, aventura. We can use our color coding system to write the words in English and Spanish. So I'm going to first start with the English word adventure. And I'm going to change it to blue for English. And then I'll type the word in Spanish, aventura, and change it to red for Spanish. Now, in the classroom, we often play the game Rate That Word, where you think about the word and what it means, and you give a thumbs up if you understand the word, you could explain it to someone, and you could use it correctly in a sentence. You would do a thumbs in the middle if you've heard the word, but you're not really sure you could explain what it means or use it. And a thumbs down means it's a new to you word. So I want you to think about this word adventure, aventura, and think about your understanding of the word. Then we're going to go back to our first slide, and we're going to use the other resource that's included in your activity, and that's an online dictionary. Once we get to this screen, you're going to type the word in this box right here, and I've already pre-filled it with the first word, adventure. And there's several different features of this site. First, you can listen to the word.
Adventure.
Then you can read the first definition. A journey or activity that is dangerous or exciting. I want you to notice that they also include sentences in which they use the word, and those sentences are written in italics. If you want to build your vocabulary beyond these words, you can look at the synonyms or other words that mean about the same thing as your target word or some similar words. So we can see in this example that an adventure is a journey. It can be an activity, and it could be dangerous or exciting. It can also be an enterprise or a venture. I like the word expedition because that's also a word that connects with our social studies content. So I'm going to come back to my chart that has the vocabulary words. And now that I have a pretty good understanding of what the word means, I can go ahead and use the word in a sentence. So the sentence that I used in the example for the lesson is that distance learning is a new adventure. It's certainly a journey. I don't know if it's dangerous, but it's exciting. One of the directions was that you should underline your key vocabulary word. That's the text feature that we're focusing on for the lesson. And that makes the word stand out so that we know that it's important. So now let's take a look at the second word on our list. The second word is chart, cuadro. And I like this word because in Spanish, we use the word tabla. También se dice tabla en ese cuadro. And this is a word that we often use in math. So a lot of us understand this word in the context of mathematics in our math lessons, but this might be a new to us word when it's related to our social studies content. So let's go to our list here and we will write our words in English and Spanish. First in English in blue, chart, and then in Spanish in red, cuadro. Y recuerda que también se dice tabla. And then we're going to go to our online dictionary link. We're going to look up the word and find out if we understand the meaning. Typed in this little box. I can listen to the word pronounced out loud.
Chart.
Chart. It's a noun. Can also be used as a verb. In this case, we're using it as a chart, a thing, a noun. Definition number 1 says it's a sheet that gives information in the form of a graph or table. Now that sounds a lot like the definition when this word is used in the context of math. Let's take a look at definition 2. A map used to guide a ship across water or an airplane through the skies. Now, I can tell from the context of our social studies learning that the definition that we want to focus on is that it's a map. So I'm going to just say a chart is a map or sheet with information. And I think that kind of covers the definition. And then I want to remember to underline my key vocabulary word, chart. And now I have my sentence. Now I want you to notice that I'm being super careful to make sure that I start my sentences with capital letters and I end with correct punctuation. Okay, now going to our third word, coastal, costero. If we take a look at the online dictionary definition of coastal, it'd be interesting to see if they also include a picture or a visual like they did with the last words. Coastal. So first we can listen to the pronunciation.
Coastal.
And they do have a little picture for us right here of, at, or near a coast. So we can go back to our chart and we can write the word. I need to change the font and the color. And I'll write it first in English and then in Spanish in red. Coastal, costero. And then we're going to think about what the definition said. Over near the coast, right? And I'm thinking about how lovely it would be to be at the coast. So I might make my sentence be about a trip, a coastal trip. They took a trip to a coastal town And then I'm going to underline my key vocabulary word. Make sure that I have my sentence starting with a capital letter and ending with a period or correct punctuation, and I'm ready for my next vocabulary word. So this is an example of how you can use some of these resources to help you build your vocabulary in both English and Spanish. Have fun doing some word building and sentence writing with the rest of these words.